Okay, hi. I'm gonna today talk about how to hook up your generator into your house wiring. So this is quite beneficial if you have a lot of power problems, and definitely if you live in a hurricane area or area prone to hurricanes. So here's my breaker box here, and I'm going to open it up real quick. I'm going to take all this off in just a second. I'm just going to show you that I have a double pole 40 watt breaker, 40 amp breaker here, and you can see I have the generator here, and then this is my main right here. Okay, so I'm going to set this down for just a second. I'm going to take my breaker box cover off so I can show you. I have it halfway off already. Show you what I got behind here. Okay, so what I have here, this 40 amp double pole breaker right here was actually for my stove, my range. Now I don't have an electric stove. I have a gas stove, so it was basically free. It was connected, of course, to my house wiring, but I didn't use it at all. So what I did, because I have my breaker box is already full, I can't put anything else in. What I did is I took off, and here you can see right here, I took off my range wiring, which goes to my inside wiring to the range, and then I connected up a 4-conductor wire. You need a 4-conductor wire for 220 or 240, and you can't follow the wire, but it's basically, you know, 2 hots right that are shown here, 2 hots, and then I got a neutral over here that's connected, and a ground over here, and that goes up to this wire right here. And if we follow that wire around, that wire comes right down over here, and I got a Nina 14 P twist lock female, just a little single gang box here. Picked it up at Home Depot, and then I just modified. This is just a regular little plastic for a regular AC or 120 15 amp 20 amp output, and I just cut a hole in it, or cut it a little bit bigger, just because I was too cheap to buy one to fit this. But anyway, and I just nailed it there, and that's it. So basically that's all I did to hook up this particular plug. Now what I'm going to do, this plug, if you look at that plug closely, that Nina 14P is the same plug that's on a most, 98% of, residential generators. Alright, so if we go outside, and I'm going to take a look, see that hole right down there I cut in my garage. Hopefully I cover that up so no, the rats won't make their way in here. So I'm going to just walk outside here and show you the other piece to this. So this is my shed here, and we can see I got a generator right here, Briggs & Stratton. It's a 305cc unit, and I might turn it around for you here real quick. And we can see right there that I have the same style plug right there. That's a 240 volt AC. And then what usually they do with these things is they'll give you a cord similar to this right here. This plugs in, and then on the other end you have something like this, yellow and gray on one side. These are 2 different circuits, each providing 20 amp. Alright, so that's how that works. That's the default cable. Now what I did is I just went to Home Depot, bought a 10 gauge, excuse me, here it is right here, let me back up a little bit. Went to 10 gauge 4-conductor cable here, and I just got 2 Nina 14P plugs, male plugs, and this is you need a good size cable. You don't want any voltage drop coming from this guy. to the plug inside when we connect this up. So I just got this. This is a 15-foot cable, same on both sides. Basically, what happens is I plug this in right here, so that goes in there, and then the other side feeds through that hole that I showed you a second ago in my garage, and then plugs in to that female outlet or female plug inside the garage. So that's what that looks like on this side. Again, the cable would just run out of my shed, and this is a 5,000 watt unit up to a maximum of 6250. So 305 cc's, 14 horsepower or 14.5 foot-pounds of torque. So very, very good generator that can be picked up at any Home Depot or Lowe's, anything like that. And then I'm going back in here. I'm going to take a look back in here again. So what happens if I just feed that cable right in the hole, I plug it in right here, and then what's very, very important to note here is before I do anything, my power is off before I do anything, or I even touch the generator or touch the cable. The first thing you must do, please, or always remember this, is turn off the main switch. So when disconnect from the grid, because we don't want to backfeed any electrical current into the grid. If the power is out, obviously there's some linemen out there trying to fix things, and most certainly you don't want to backfeed any voltage to shock anybody or electrocute anybody like that. So I turn this off, turn the main off. I'm now disconnected from the grid. I'm on my own here. I turn off all my breakers right here. I plug my cable in right down there, run it through. I go start up my generator, let it run for a few minutes. I like to let it run for about 5 minutes, let it get warmed up. And then, remember, this is the breaker that we have connected to this plug that's feeding electrical power into our system here. And once I turn that on, that's going to feed both poles in my electrical breaker box here. And then what I've done is, look at my, let me pull this up here. Get a good view of it here. What I've done here is I got my generator, and what I did here is I just highlighted a few breakers here. I don't know if you can see that highlighting in here, that will run my essentials in the house. So master bedroom, that's where my internet connectivity comes in, my office where I have some lab equipment and things like that, and then obviously we want to keep our fridge running, things like that in case of emergency. So one important thing that I did, that if you do this, you most certainly need to know what you're doing, and you know, the basics of electricity. And also you want to teach your family how to run the system, and explain to everybody that it's so critical that if you go on generator power, that you make absolutely sure that this main is turned off. So I actually have some instructions that are wrote out for my family. They're on the refrigerator, right next to the drawer that has the flashlights. So if they need to do this on their own, you know, they get the flashlight, get the instructions, and they know exactly, you know, what to do in an emergency situation where we need to provide our own power into our house. So hopefully that helps you out if you're going to do this to your own system. There are some great locks out there. So there's some systems that they sell where you can put a lock, you know, that really all it does is really hold this. If this is on, it'll hold this breaker off. So that's a good thing to do. I think what I'm going to do is put a big label on here, and maybe provide some, you know, drill something on my onto my breaker panel here that'll hold this off, because I absolutely do not want that going on unless I'm here or someone who knows what they're doing is turning this on. Obviously, if I were to move out of this house, I would definitely disconnect this. You don't want to leave this for another owner. They won't. They may not know what's going on. They may not know what this breaker is for. Things like that. Or you can explain to them, what it's for. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully that helps you out. And hooking up a generator to your home wiring system.